Welcome to floor 81 plus. This is the final floor layout, where there is no reasonable line of sight that you can perform against any mobs. Attacks will have huge AOEs, so make sure you study up and know what does what. Courses are fairly simple. They will use Glass Punch, a late showing frontal conal with a small range. Next is the Persona. This will teleport to you and then cast a medium telegraphed conal skill. Make sure you don't panic and run away from this, as that will make it harder to dodge. Next is the Gourmand, which is similar to those in the previous set. It'll suck in everyone in front of it, and then do a fast frontal untelegraphed conal. Run behind it quickly after being sucked in. The Catoblepas will perform room-wide AOE cases when out of combat. Be mindful of where you're looking when these are nearby. Similar to Sasquatches, they're really trivial once you pull them, so it's recommended to get rid of them as soon as you can. The Hecteyes will cast a huge point-blank AOE, longer than even maximum casting range. It also has a very small melee AOE gaze that does paralysis and no damage. You cannot stun this, so make sure you're ready to run. The Pudding will cast a huge conal AOE. Make sure you're standing close to it so you don't get caught off guard. The Spartoi will cast a medium-sized targeted circle AOE and then cast a late showing conal AOE in front. Specters are the most dangerous mob on this set. They'll start out by casting left or right sweep, which is a more than 180-degree attack to one side. They also have two types of bursts. Ringing Burst, which is a large donut AOE, and then Surrounding Burst, which is a point-blank AOE. To be able to avoid all of these, make sure you stand next to it, only moving away when it uses Surrounding Burst. The Wraiths on the set are similar to those in previous deep dungeons, except you can't stun or interrupt the scream, and the telegraph for it is hidden until the end. Ahriman will cast a large line AOE. Stand close to them to avoid it easily. The Pegasus are a copy pasta of Kelpies from earlier. They'll dash to someone and cast a large point-blank AOE that's untelegraphed. The only difference is that after that, it'll do a double auto that'll knock back. Now we come face to face with the Administrator. It's recommended for DPS and healers to use Steel for this boss, as it has a raid wide that deals 40k damage, and Steel will also allow you to survive a mechanic that will otherwise one-shot you. The first mechanic is Support Systems and Interception Sequence. This will spawn various objects around the arena, which will execute in the order of the die phase that each are marked with. Position yourself accordingly to avoid these mechanics. The egg will shoot a huge cone that you will need to stand next to it to avoid. The cubes simply shoot down a straight line laser, and the ball will create a giant donut. As soon as these mechanics resolve, the boss will cast either cross lasers or peripheral lasers. When it uses cross lasers, you do not want to stand in any of the cardinal directions of the boss. When it uses peripheral lasers, you need to get well inside the boss's hitbox to avoid the donut. It will then cast Laser Stream, a heavy-hitting raid wide dealing 40k damage without mitigation. The next mechanic is Parallel Execution. This will summon two perpendicular rows of cubes, which will each start firing off line AOEs from one side of the arena to the other. 5 circle AOEs will be placed under your feet while the line AOEs go off. Focus on moving through one line of lasers at a time, waiting for the telegraph to resolve before running through. Lastly, the boss will use Support Systems and Salvo Script. This will summon all the objects at the same time. To find the safe spot, look for the two eggs and where they're pointing. If both eggs are pointing towards the center, the safe spot is in the corner behind them. If the eggs are facing each other, then run in the perpendicular direction away from where the eggs are facing. And that's it for this boss. I know it looks like a lot is going on, but if you pay attention to just those eggs on that third mechanic, then you'll be able to find the safe spot fairly easily. I'll see you guys soon on the final set.